business, a statement on music careers. Was that always in the script, or did that kind of come out of at some point?
The script is a bit different. A little bit
The best
different.
thing you would do is get rid of that band thing?
Yes, that is, I think that,
Yeah.
without that, I think it would have, but that's the whole twist of the whole thing, I think. That's the best part of the movie.
Well, that's what every time I worked with a record label or a producer or throughout my whole young career as an artist was the first thing they would tell you to do was fire your drummer, fire your bass player. And they were everybody's constantly trying to kill your band. And that's the sort of thing they would say to a guy at an actual meeting. The best thing you ever did was get rid of that band. So metaphorically,
It's the kind of, our film is the kind of film that you got to go with. You just got to, in the first 20 minutes, you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. And, it's going to be one or the other. You have to go with that. What inspired, there was a French horror film called High Tension, that the whole film is based on this leap of faith that you need to take. Once you realize who the killer is, you have to look back in hindsight at the whole film from when the killing starts and think, is that possible? And then you find yourself looking back and saying, why am I looking back? It's so cool that it happened. Why do I care? And why aren't I just going with the movie? And the movie, and then once you make that decision in High Tension, it becomes such a brutal, horrific movie. Once you take that leap of faith. And that comes from, Hitchcock. He used to call it refrigerator logic. When people used to watch his films, some of them didn't all link up perfectly, and they would get up in the middle of the night and go to the refrigerator, and they were a little hungry or thirsty, and they'd open the refrigerator, and while they were reaching for something, they'd think, well, that didn't quite make sense. And Hitchcock used to call it refrigerator logic, and I think that High Tension counts on that, and I think our film does too.
But certainly plays in the idea that rock and roll can drive you crazy.
Yeah.
And has it driven you crazy along the way at any point?
He's crazy now.
Yeah, I mean, do you have to worry
He's
about...
sitting here crazy.
No, but it does drive you crazy. There's these moments you go crazy when you're creating. Anybody creating anything, whether it's a film or a record or a painting, I mean, the creative act has a huge amount of insanity built into it.
So, is this driven you crazy enough that you're planning on another, you're planning on, I know, several films. And are horror films in the future as well?
If we can come up with a good story, it has to, I'm not going to make just, another horror movie. I mean, this is obviously something completely different, and God knows if I can come up with another good idea. I don't know. We have another film that we're going to make. It's not a horror movie. I mean, I don't think any of us up here would say no if they asked us to make, the sequel, like I Said, Don't Go in the Woods, or something like that. But, because I think it would be too much fun not to do, especially if it was the same kind of atmosphere, very low budget, and...
Yeah, I think it would be fun if it was totally bloated budget.
Yeah, well, Joe wants a big budget, so we'll have one.
Well, just to keep Joe happy, of course.
No, we're going to make a movie that, keep making them.
So,
if they let us.